Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Blessings to all of you. So there is this saying in many traditions that something is written for our life. In the Sufi tradition, we say it is written on a divine tablet. No, our life is written. So this is like a difficult thing to understand, because we say, what is our free will if everything would be written? Now, to understand what is written, we have to look to our brain, the way it works, and we have to look to our cells and to our body, and then that makes us a little bit to understand how things are going in higher spheres. So basically, when we look at our life, what happens is that there are key points in our life where our life turns in one moment, to a totally different direction. That can be that you lose somebody, that can be you become a father, that can be that you find a new work, and the opposite of all of that. No? So these key points, they are connected with each other. So we can say in the brain, this would be the synapses, that are the key points, and then we have like wires or roads to the next key point. No? The same is that the way we look at the universe is that we think there are just planets here, and there is nothing in between. But in reality, they are connected. And the way they are connected for us in the moment we are born, for example, also in our life continuing, they have a very strong influence on us, how life happens. But it is not a one-way road. It is actually a two-way thing. We also have very much an influence on them. So, for example, currently, it happens that more and more people are expecting a third world war. And now, what happens is that between one key point and the other key point, there is a road. And there is also a space around it, and we can call this the field, the time-space field. No? And this field contains our information at this present moment. So when many people feed this field between one key point and another with this information, then we have a very good chance to reach exactly to that situation. But there are other options. There are thousands of destinations that we can take. One is the best. One is the ideal one. And if you take this one, then this will be your last lifetime. So an alternative information that we could give to the field is that you yourself don't participate in this information giving. You don't think about the situation and say, yes, that's going to be a world war. And you don't feed it, especially emotionally. It's not so much what you think, but actually we feed the field emotionally. And when it then marries with our thoughts, that is how things are manifesting collectively. And then, yes, we can have a war, or we don't need to have a war, right? It can be softer, It can happen that they finally say, for example, they understand that they have to slowly start to speak with each other, right? Because this is how every war ends. Finally, there must come some people together and they have to talk, no? And when that point comes, that also we can feed. We can say, it should come very soon. It should come next month, or within this year at least. Yeah. So it depends very much what we feed in that field. On an individual level, it is the same thing. We are always thinking to our future, no? And the way we think to it, that makes the road to be strong and the field to be strong, and this is how we manifest. But the key points, yeah, they are in different constellations always fixed. Yeah. But which key point we are going to reach depends on this space in between. And that space in between, this is where we can experience our free will. Yeah. Let's say how we behave on the road between the two key points. That makes the other key point to change, either to the better version or to a not so good version. Yeah. And these key points, they are written. Yeah. So it is not a one-dimensional thing that is written. It is a very, very, very multi-dimensional thing, you could say. There's many, many choices there. Yeah. And that also corresponds with the way we are appearing here on earth. If you would come and from the very beginning, you just always choose the higher key points, higher, like in a video game, you will arrive to the level where you are finishing the game. Yeah, you come to the top level and then the game is finished. No? And that's the same. If you make a mistake, let's say one mistake, you just make one mistake. Then you come to the second best option. That means you have to come one time again. Yeah. If you make two mistakes, then you come 3 times again. If you make 3 mistakes, you come 4 times again, and so on and so on. Now you can imagine why the journey is so long. Yeah. Because we have to fall to rise. This is the story of humanity. No? In the Abrahamic traditions, it was represented by one man, that he fell, yeah, and he said that he was pushed from all his descendants, yeah, to fall, no, because the story starts through falling, and the same thing is for us. We can not really change habits or learning if we don't fall, yeah. So falling is a process of raising. There is not just raising, not in this dimension, right? There is always falling first. But not everyone has to crash permanently. Yeah, you don't have to destroy your life always. Some people can see things before, can understand things easier. For some, you need to fall. It depends how you fill the space between the two key points, right? So every day you have the chance to change your destination. Yeah. This is the thing. This is why all the traditions say be in the moment, because it is the moment, literally, where you can do something. It is not in any other place. It is the moment. So when you are really present in one moment, yeah, then you can do things. Usually we are just present when the moment, these key moments turn against us and we fall. Usually we are just aware on the moment when we fall. Yeah. And that is the journey. You come to a point where you don't need to fall any longer because you're doing the right decisions. You do the right things. No, you go straight. that means you go short. Yeah. And the same thing happens in our brain. Yeah. Those circuits that are very close to each other, they are the strongest. Yeah. And we can actually create them as well. Yeah. We can repair also broken ones, and so on and so on. That's what our body also does very often, that it repairs or it throws out what is not anymore functioning, but we can create new ones. Yeah. This is what science found out, that our brain is not something that just has a certain number of cells and when they are finished, that's it. No, every cell, even brain cells, can renew, and we can create new paths. Also our physical body and the rest, especially with our heart. Yeah. The body, when you train, when you make certain exercises, those veins that are not so good anymore, the body will open new veins towards the heart. And this is represented in our life everywhere. One path can close, yeah, because you closed it, or it got closed for you. It's not always you. But be assured, there is always a new path for you to open. It is never finished. On the biological sense, we have two key points that we can't escape, and that is our birth and this is our death. But what we are as a soul on a journey, that does not finish here. That does not stop because we lose our body, our physical body, right? So the journey continues also on the other side, and the mechanics, the laws as well, also at the other side. It is not that you will just do by default the right decisions. No. So this is a very important thing to understand, how you feed your life. The more aware you become of it, the easier your life will get. And remember, we always need to fall to realize, but the height of how much we need to fall, that can differ. Finally, you don't fall anymore. You can see already where it would be, and you stay where you are. And that is when you arrived. I hope it is somehow clear. I'm sure we're gonna go and speak a bit deeper about it, or from another point of view. But there is always not only a second chance, there is a million chances for you. Yeah, for every one of us. Actually infinite in some aspect. That should not make you to relax and say, okay, yeah, there will be always a new one, because you want to have it short on a certain point. You don't want to repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat. No. So for the short, you have to wake up. This is what means awakening. Everything becomes shorter, and one moment comes that you have reached everything at one moment. Yeah. Thank you very much, and wishing you the very best for you, your families, and see you again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.